Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right. In my life, it's never a wrong time over crime. To get what's yours and to get what's mine, come on. Coffee time, coffee time. In my life, coffee time, coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you serve it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on. Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right. In my life, it's never a wrong time over crime. To get what's yours and to get what's mine, come on. Coffee time, coffee time. In my life, coffee time, coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you serve it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Do me a favor. Invite somebody to share. Tell them coffee time is on. If you don't mind. Invite somebody to share. Let me know when you get on too. Just want to acknowledge you. Say good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Give me a little volume here so I can, so y'all can hear me okay. Don't have much of a push in my voice this morning. Good morning, good morning. If you don't let me know you're on. Talking about wisdom for the journey. Wisdom for the journey. Wisdom for the journey. If you don't mind, invite somebody to share. Wisdom for the journey. Invite somebody to share. If you don't mind. Once you come on, say good morning to me. Holler at your boy. Of course, I'm alerting our audience to let them know. Star Brown, good morning. Latasha Jose, good morning. Wisdom for the journey. So I'm waking up our YouTube audience and some of the other platforms. But yesterday, I had a wonderful time yesterday. Of course, in church. And then I had a wonderful time after church. Took my mom dinner. It was a surprise for her. It wasn't for me. But took her dinner. We sat down and she started pouring so much wisdom that I didn't get a chance to eat my food. I had to bring my food home. And some of the things that she poured into me just triggered this live this morning, Wisdom for the Journey. There are so many people who their parents have transitioned, and there are so many people who need guidance. They don't necessarily, and hear me closely, they don't need to be told what to do. They need guidance in doing what they do. And there's a difference between the two. One of the differences is guidance is supplying instruction, wisdom, based on the wisdom that you have, some of the things that you've come out of, and being told what to do almost is what we do to our children. And one of the problems I believe that parents face is when our children grow up, we don't understand that the relationship changes. And you can't yell at them kids and talk to them kids any kind of way. Because when they get a certain age, you're no longer talking down to them. You're talking over to them. So what happens is a lot of our children, they can't receive the wisdom that we have, because the wisdom that we have, we fractured the relationship with them, and they can no longer receive from our table. I want to say good morning to our YouTube audience. Adore. Good morning, Adore. I've got a date with Adore next Saturday, or Saturday coming. So I've got to give her a shout out. But there is wisdom that our children are supposed to get from us as long as we're alive. We move from the seat of walking them through every grave detail. We have to respect where they are, what they know. But we move into a seat of wisdom. And in that seat of wisdom, we're supposed to be able to supply them with wisdom that we've gained from our lifetime. I want to say good morning to our YouTube audience. Good morning to the other platforms that are signed on. So 116 people on right now. I want you to know that I don't take that for granted. Thank you for signing on to Coffee Time. And I appreciate you for spending your morning with me. Cristal Chanel. Your name sounds like a bottle of champagne. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining Coffee Time. You know I got jokes. So anyway, there is a wisdom that we're supposed to offer our children, and a lot of times our children can't receive the wisdom. They can't receive the wisdom that we have because we fractured the relationship. Maybe we don't get along. Maybe we just see things differently. Maybe them kids remind you of their daddy. It could be a whole lot of reasons why we don't get along with our kids. Pretty Black, good to see you this morning. Pray you and your family is well. Thank you for spending your morning with Coffee Time. So there's a wisdom that you have that you're supposed to give your kids, but the relationship is fractured. You can't. Now, I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And for those that have smaller kids, I'm going to address that. And then I'm going to talk about the wisdom that you need in life. So if you fracture the relationship with your kids, maybe y'all don't get along, whatever the reason is, here is how you're going to be able. They need you. I don't care what they say. They're going to feel like they don't. They need you. And for those who you don't believe your kids need you, just think about it. We still need our parents, right? Talking to my mom yesterday, we talked about 3 hours straight. And I just began to see just how much of her wisdom that I needed. Just how much I needed. So what I recommend for parents who have older kids or you and your kids don't get along, my recommendation is to try to make peace with them if you can. And understand that they're trying to learn it. A lot of things we're still trying to get ourselves at the age that we are. Well, the struggle is real with them even more because they're younger. They're going to need your wisdom. They're going to need your presence. Sometimes the wisdom comes in your presence. Just you showing up, just you being there, just you being a listening ear. You don't have to all the time verbalize wisdom. Sometimes wisdom is just being around you. I want to talk about wisdom for the journey for us as adults, because life has not necessarily prepared us for what's next. And there are a lot of decisions that have to be made, and trying to make multiple decisions at the same time can be taxing, can be frustrating. How do you choose what job? How do you choose what to do? What do you do when things aren't working for your benefit? How do you deal with people, relationships? Some people are they're stuck in a rhetorical cycle of bad relationships. And they don't know how to break it. They meet a new guy, meet a new girl, different face, different name, but the same personality as the previous jerks. But there is a wisdom that God extends towards us, that he would give us, and that wisdom that he extends, believe it or not, it's in you. It's innate. We call it our mind. My mind told me not to go that way, or my mind told me, not to say that, or my mind told me to do this. My mind told me to do that. We call it our mind, but that is an innate wisdom that you have. Now you got to understand that you are the DNA of God. You're God's DNA. He created you. You are a beautiful masterpiece. But the more you listen to the wisdom, the sharper it seemingly gets. Wisdom doesn't get sharp. It is what it is, but it gets it seemingly gets sharper primarily because you yielding to it opens the gateway of your ear to hear more of it. Now watch. To the contrary, when you don't listen to wisdom, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, the day that you hear my voice, harden not your heart. So the scriptures likens, us not yielding to wisdom, yielding to God's voice, to a heart that has hardened. Now, when your heart basically hardens, you no longer hear with clarity. So the best way, according to the scriptures, to get wisdom, it says, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who freely gives to us all things. I'm constantly praying, God, guide me through this situation. God, what should I do here? Got a couple of projects on my desk now that I need his wisdom. I need what to do, how to get it done. And then I need him to send me the players to make it happen. So I always ask, Father, I thank you for wisdom in this situation. I thank you that you're going to sharpen the ears of my understanding. You're going to sharpen my eyes, help me see the things that are not there, hear the things that are not being said, so that I can operate in wisdom in all things. And it's just that simple. And I'm telling y'all, man, God has never failed me. He's always come through for me. Now, I don't have coffee this morning. I've got sour sop tea. I'm fighting a little head congestion. It was one of the things I got from my mom's house last night. Do y'all go to your parents' house and shop? I got juice, tea, all the stuff that I don't really buy. I loaded up last night. So there's a wisdom that you're supposed to be operating in. You have an eyesight that goes beyond the physicality of your own eye. I guess I could say it that way. You have an eyesight that goes beyond your eye. Your eyesight that you have is sharper than your physical eye. Danette Patrice, good morning, daughter. That eyesight that you have, with that eyesight comes vision. When you walk into a place, you can see how it should be, or you start getting an understanding about what should be. So I don't sound like I'm all over the place. So let me start with this. The first thing, if you're looking for wisdom for your journey, the first thing you need to do is ask God, who freely gives all things. He does not discriminate. He's not going to give me more wisdom than he gives you. He's not going to give you more wisdom than he gives me. He's going to give you the wisdom based on the ask. Mark 11:24, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe that you receive it and you shall have it. He gives you wisdom based on the ask. And then he gives you the amount of wisdom that you get is predicated on what type of steward you are over what you have. So when you're using the wisdom that you have, you'll get more. And that wisdom will uncover all things. There are times I'm sitting in meetings, and while I'm in that meeting, ideas begin to just run off in my head. I immediately write them down. Here's why. You have to respect the wisdom that you get. And the way that you respect the wisdom that you get is write it down and enforce what you've gotten. Put it into action. A lot of wisdom that I get, a lot of ideas that I get, they won't work right now. And I know they won't work right now because I don't have the muscle or the people to get it done, but you best believe it's on my whiteboard. Every vision that you have is not to be implemented right now. Sometimes God would give you wisdom or insight into what's to come, and the idea that you have, maybe it's for 3 months from now. Because sometimes when we introduce new concepts, new ideas, the people that are around or the people that it's going to affect, they're not there yet. So you have to wait till they grow a little bit more, get exposed a little bit more, or get hurt a little bit more, where their heart begins to open up to receive what you said. Sometimes other people have to try several things before they say, hey, let me try your idea. But you're not to be discouraged in that. That's a part of the process. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've told people, just sitting at the table with them and start giving them wisdom on what they need to do. Some of them listen. Some of them don't. Well, I don't allow the people that don't listen discourage me from giving them wisdom. No. I go to somebody else, dust your feet off, and go to the next one. Some people are gifted in the area of wisdom. I have people in my life, when I sit down with them, they start spitting wisdom, and it'd be so rich. Sometimes I just hit record, and that becomes my meal, my snack. Or when I'm in a place of uncertainty, I listen to the wisdom that they gave me to remind me what the hope of my call is. I got a word yesterday. I was on the phone with a friend. Shanika Solomon, what's up, niece? Thank you for spending part of your morning with me. Thank all of you. Matter of fact, let me give all of you a hand. Yeah. That's to everybody. Because without you, there is no coffee time. Straight up. I got a word yesterday, and the word that came to me was so on time. It was so on time. Well, that word that came to me ignited something in me. And that level of encouragement that I received opened up a door or gateway for more wisdom to come. One of the things that would kill wisdom in your life or put you in a place where you can no longer hear the wisdom that is coming forth is, Tosh, I love y'all more. I appreciate y'all more. You better believe it. Is the place of discouragement. There's nothing like being discouraged or not having courage. That's what being discouraged is, a lack of courage. Shanika Reed, what's up? Sometimes when y'all call me pastor, I still have to it doesn't sink in, but I get it. Thank you. Shanika Reed, good to see you. Thank you for spending a part of your morning with us. But when you are discouraged, you don't have the courage to do that place of discouragement. No, real talk, Danette, because I still be fighting them hood voices in my head. I still have to silence stuff. I play so much at times that I forget. People be serious when they call. Why are you laughing? They call you pastor. You have a church. What's funny about that? It's just I'm living proof that he can use anybody. So, you know what I'm saying. All right. Now Danette brings out sometimes the clown in me. So y'all forgive me. But when you're in a place where you don't have courage is not there. That place can also feel lonely. And it's the feeling of loneliness, if you're not careful, that will cut off wisdom. It's not that the wisdom is not coming. You can't hear it because of the place of loneliness. This is why. Danette, I miss you yesterday. Okay. Some people, I be wanting to put trackers on their car. Latasha Holsey, Danette, you know, when they ain't there, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But that isolated place, that place where you feel like you're not understood, that place where you feel like you're in this by yourself, that place can cause you, if you aren't careful, to implode. It's an internal explosion. And that implosion, well, if Kiki had told the right people, we all could have helped. Till I said it. It's that place where you begin to implode, that you are no longer connected. You're no longer in a place to hear. And when you can't hear, that is when we generally get into the most trouble. And again, it's not that the wisdom is not coming forth. We're not in a place to hear it. Sometimes wisdom, God will use people around you to give wisdom to you. There are certain seasons of your life, and I want to be careful how you say this, because a lot of people have used this as a tool of manipulation. You know, you have to watch when you're in places of authority, because you're viewed in a certain light. And when you have that authority, there's a grace that goes with that authority. So God will use you when you're operating in that place to give wisdom, but you've got to make sure you don't abuse that place. Now, everything people are doing in their life, they're running it through you. Now you're becoming an idol, and you are prohibiting the growth of other people. They can't grow, and the reason they can't grow is you are hindering their growth by feeding them everything they need to know. You got to know how to give wisdom and pull back. Give it, pull back. It's a touch and go. You don't want to become people's God. That's how idols are formed. And now people are handicapped in your absence. That's a dangerous place to be in. It's a dangerous place to be in. So I'm going to pause right here. I've been on for about 30 minutes, I believe. 31 minutes and 7 seconds. And what I want to do, Shakaya Bryant, I am praying for your husband. I was in church yesterday praying for you and your husband. Hopefully all is well, and well is all. I believe in speaking what the word says. The word has the authority. I don't have any power. The authority that I have comes through the name of Jesus. I'm no superhero, but I believe in speaking what Jesus spoke, and I believe it's supposed to have the effect that it's supposed to have. So we have you and your husband lifted up. But I want to pause And I want you all to ask questions. We're talking about wisdom for the journey. Anything you think you need wisdom for, ask right now. Let's put it to the test. Let's see if it works. I believe there's wisdom here now. The way we tap into it is to ask. So whatever your questions are, I'm gonna give you a second to type it up and I'm gonna answer it. So go ahead. And excuse me for hacking and hawking and all that kind of stuff. Any questions? Ask anything. I'm waiting for your questions. Brought my own sound effects in case y'all didn't talk. Now, any questions you have, it can be about business, life, relationships, whatever. Maybe you don't want your question to be public. Hit me in my inbox. I can look at it. I won't share your name, and I'll still answer it. All my questions aren't serious. It doesn't matter, whatever you have a question for. Healing relationship and helping grown kids. Okay, so Tosh, tell me what the question is. Make it in question form because I don't want to assume I know what you're talking about. I want to be able to answer the questions precisely. So and I've got my phone here in case you want to inbox, and I won't tell anybody it's you. Trust me, it's 119 people on. We won't know who it is. Rephrase your question, Tosh. I'm not sure. The only thing it's showing me is healing relationship and helping grown kids. Tell me again what the question is. Phone here in case you want to inbox. All right, I'm trying to give everybody a chance to ask any questions you may have. Is imitation flattery or inspiration? Imitation of what? Um, I don't understand. In order to answer the question, I've got to understand it. So then try that again. ask it another way or give me more details. In other words, folk, y'all use complete sentences. How about that? All right. So either the delay is taking too long for the question to come in, or you all don't have any. I was going to try and answer Latasha Hosey's question, healing relationship in helping grown kids, but I don't understand the nature of the question. Then I was going to try to answer Danette Patrice's question. Is imitation flattery or inspiration? But I don't understand the nature of that question either. So I'm going to give you all about 1 minute. Anybody can ask anything, and I'm going to do my best to answer it. You got about 1 more minute. All right. So you had your time. Ask the question. The topic today is wisdom for the journey. Stephanie Clark, good morning. You got to come back and visit us. It was good seeing you. Love to have you be a part of our family. But if there are no questions, remember you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom inside of you cannot handle. You got to calm down, slow down, use emotional intelligence, trust God, and be quiet and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, you will always win. Go be productive today. Go have a great day. And hopefully we'll see you this time tomorrow. Blessings to you. Remember to think higher, speak life, seek wisdom, stay strong. Peace.